A new beginning.
Say it again like you mean it. A new year.
A new year.
A new beginning.
A new beginning.
Yeah. Happy New Year, y'all. There was a time when I didn't think I would live this long. But here it is, we're in 2012, and God is still speaking to us. So there's a couple of things we want to take a look at in this text, and I won't be before you long. But there's at least two things, and I think most of you in here can agree with me. There are at least two things most people have in common at the start of a new year. One of the things is that we sing a song called, watch this, Alu Lang Syne. Now, most of you won't know the title of that song, but I guarantee you everybody here has sang that song as we embark on the new year. That's the song that everybody sings when the clock strikes 12 at New Year. We say, Happy New Year. And y'all know that song? You know the melody, right? Well, that's a song that was penned back in the 1700s by old Scottish. And here's what the song, it was written in Scottish, but the English version says, the Auld Lang Syne means time's gone by. So now, let me give you what you're saying in English. When you're singing that song, most of us don't know the words to the song. You know, we just hum the melody of the song. But here's what you're saying when you are humming the melody to that song. Should times go by, but not forgotten, and never brought to mind again. Should times go by, but not forgotten, for times, my dear, have gone by, but not forgotten. We'll take a cup, oh kindness, and sip for times gone by. Now, I guarantee you, if the Lord allows us to see next year, you're going to pay attention to that song when you sing it. Amen? Amen. The other thing is, that's one thing we have in common, but the other thing is that most of us, we tend to make New Year's resolutions. And by the smiles on your face, I know everybody agrees that we tend to make these New Year's resolutions. Now, that was a survey did back in 2008, and watch this. The most common New Year's resolution that's made in America, watch this, is to lose weight. That's the common New Year's resolution that Americans make. So now, there's a story that I read, and it was about a young boy who asked his father, he said, Dad, what's your New Year's resolution? And his father replied, son, my New Year's resolution is to do everything in my power to make your mother happy. He said, then the young boy turns to his mother and said, Mom, what's your New Year's resolution? And she replied to him, she said, son, is to do everything in my power to make sure your dad keeps to his New Year resolution. So, why do we make these resolutions? Why do we make these declarations at the start of a new year? We make them because there are areas in our lives that we're unhappy with. There are situations and circumstances we want to change in our lives. Areas in our lives we want to do better. And as we embrace a new year, we yearn for a new beginning in some area in our lives. We want to change. We want to have a new start at something. An opportunity to alter an area in our lives that make us feel that we are unwanted. We want to alter an area in our lives that, truth be told, has guided us down a path that we did not like. We made some decisions that we wish we could take back. Now, I know I'm not in here by myself, but I know that there are some decisions I made in 2011 I wish I could take back. There's some places that I had to go that I didn't want to go because I made a bad decision in 2011. But we make these because we want to change something in our lives. So when it comes to embracing newness, we're talking about a new year and a new beginning. So when it comes to embracing newness, Christians are familiar with the language of newness. Watch this. In Paul's writing to the earlier church, Paul says some things like this. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. Old things have passed away, all things have become new. Jesus told Nicodemus, you know the story in John chapter 3, when Jesus became Nicodemus' night school teacher. He told Nicodemus, you must be born again. So newness is not something new to Christians. See, we just want to thank God today for his newness of mercy. Because the psalmist said his mercy is new every morning. I wish I had about 3 folks here that knew that they couldn't make it on the mercy that God gave us yesterday. We can't make it on the mercy that he gave us last year. When we dawned a new day in 2012, he gave us some new mercy. So we ought to just be thankful to God that he has given us some new mercy. But have you ever swore that you would never do something only to discover that later in life you did exactly what you said you wouldn't do? Am I by myself in here? Now that you can do something and regret that you have done it, there's also times in your life that you've done some things that was good and that was positive that you wouldn't want to take back. But oftentimes, the truth be told, and you know you have to be real with yourself, oftentimes we do things that are negative that we want to take back. I was watching this movie a few years ago, and some of you may be familiar with it. It's called City Slickers. One of the actors in it was Billy Crystal. And one of his friends came to his old Western movie, and one of his friends came to Billy and said, my wife has left me, I have no money, I lost my job, I have nothing. Billy Crystal replied to him and said, guess what? You're in a good place. You're in a good place to start over. You're in a good place to embark on something new. Watch this. Now that you can understand what we are talking about as far as a new year and a new beginning, I want to explore the text because you know I have to stay true to the text. I love my Bible. I love my word. So when we look at the text that we read today, we have to understand a few things, my brothers and sisters, when we look back on 2011. How many of us can see that we've done some dumb things that we really regret? I'm going to let that marinate for a minute because it don't take many of us that long to go back and think about it. But we've done some things that we just simply regret. The best thing we can do when we do something dumb and run into a misfortune, the best thing we can do in life is to make a decision to not do it again. The best thing we can do is say, I'm not going to do that anymore. This is a new beginning for me. We have to understand, some of us say this old cliche, out with the old, in with the new. Yeah. Our lives become too much to handle if we try to carry all of the things that we've done in the past. we have to understand there is a reason why we live day by day. Have you ever thought about it like this? There's a reason God designed the time, the days, and the hours. Because if we could go back and grab some things in the past and tangibly bring them with us in the future, that will cause us to be so overwhelmed with things we're trying to hold on to in the past, but God is trying to take us to a new beginning. Have laid down your road yet? Watch this. How oftentimes, and I don't want you to say amen, but I want you to nod your head. Most of us have an outfit hanging in our closet, and we will not give that outfit away because we said, next year, I'm losing 30 pounds. I'm going to get in that outfit, and you have no intention on going to the gym. You can't leave them sweets alone. But you look at that outfit and say, I'm going to get in that, yeah. I'm going to get in that outfit. Just let it go. Give it to somebody that can wait. Go ahead, let it go. Say let it go. So we have to understand, sometimes we just have to say, out with the old and with the new. Well, my brothers and sisters, let me introduce you to people. This is a friend of mine. He was a disciple of our Lord Jesus Christ. And see, when Jesus was alive, he chose 12 people as his special disciples. Now, out of the 12, he chose 3 disciples who he truly invested a lot of time in. And most of us that have been in church for a little while, we call them the big 3. Y'all know the big 3, Peter, James, and John. Yeah, so Simon Peter is what they call him. Jesus went even further with Peter because he selected Peter to be the head of the church that he established. See, Peter was proud of Jesus and was committed to Jesus in the calling that Jesus placed on his life. But then one day Jesus told Peter, when I'm arrested, all of you will run and turn your backs on me. Yeah, when they come and get me, when they come to lock me up, you're going to act like you don't know me. Now you have to understand, I have to give you some context in the text because you have to understand who Peter is. Now Peter, the Bible tells us, was a zealot. And zealots were, back in that day, they were the ones that had our modern day Malcolm X mentality. The zealots were full of zeal to come from under the Roman Empire. So Peter was a zealot. So now watch this. Peter responded to Jesus when he said, when I get arrested, my boys gonna run out on me. Y'all gonna act like y'all don't know me. Watch Peter. Peter said, now listen, not me, my Lord. Watch this. I got your back. Listen, when they come for you and they try to take you to jail, and I'm paraphrasing, Peter said, I'm trying to modernize it for you so you understand where I'm going. Peter said, when the popo come, I got something for him. Don't worry about it, Jesus, I got you. When they come, if they take you to jail, listen, homeboy, they got to take me to jail too. That's Peter. Peter, the zealot. So now watch this. Even if all the rest of the boys leave you, Jesus, this is Peter now. I want to talk to you from Peter's perspective. Peter said, if they all leave you, no, I'm going to stay right here. If they take you, they got to take me. I'm going to ride or die with you. Jesus, so don't even worry about it. I got you. Jesus responds on, I can see Jesus now in the theater of my mind. Jesus said, boy, listen. Before the cock crow, before that rooster preached to you, you're going to knock me 3 times. Peter said, no.